Welcome to this Friday edition of Tullahoma 6 News in HD. I'm Jamie Treadwell, and coming up, we'll hear how one agency is refining the hiring process.
And I'm Chris Barstead. We'll also hear how the way you market your business is changing.
First on 6, a driver who had been reported as driving erratically triggered a head-on collision Wednesday that led to his death and 2 others being airlifted. Richard Chisholm, 42, of Manchester, was killed on impact in the 2-vehicle crash, and the driver and occupant of the other vehicle, John and Dara Curry, both of Deckard, were airlifted to Erlanger Medical Center in Chattanooga. Prior to the crash, police received a call stating that Chisholm was all over the road. The woman who made the report was following him and was on the phone with 911 when the wreck occurred. Chisholm reportedly lost control of his silver Honda Civic, left the slow lane, traveled across several lanes of Manchester Highway where the vehicle entered the fast lane of oncoming traffic and crashed into the GMC service pickup truck driven by Mr. Curry. The incident occurred at 5:10 p.m. near Prater's Barbecue. None of the occupants were wearing a seatbelt. Blood was drawn from both drivers, which is mandatory for any fatality wreck. However, the information will only be used for statistical purposes since the driver who caused the wreck is deceased and can't be charged.
The driver of a white cargo van had a bad day when she missed the entrance to Northgate Mall, went up over the curb and crashed her van into a ditch by the parking lot landscaping. The van had to be stabilized by the Tullahoma Fire Department prior to being towed. No drugs or alcohol were present.
Adam Brazel will wait a little longer to learn whether he'll win a last-ditch bid for freedom for a murder he swears he didn't commit. Brazel, 34, will return to court in Grundy County next month as prosecutors and defense argue over the pitfalls of eyewitness testimony and fingerprints that put a look-alike cop killer and not Brazel at the crime scene. His bid for a new trial Wednesday was cut short by arguments over admissibility of some of that evidence. Brazel spent the past 12 years serving a life sentence for the 2006 killing of Malcolm Burrows on a rural roadside near Tracy City in Grundy County. 2 eyewitnesses identified Brazel at trial. No forensic evidence tied him to the case, and friends swore he was with them miles away at the time.
The Tullahoma Police Department needs your help to identify this person. She is a person of interest regarding an incident at a local business on May 15, 2019. Please contact investigator Johnny Gore at jgore@tullahoma.gov or call 455-0530.
At this month's Chamber Coffee, hosted by Resource MFG, attendees had the opportunity to hear how the company goes about qualifying and their applicants and testing their skills. Here's Michelle Simmons, Director of Business Development, with more.
Something else we offer is we do an OSHA 10-hour class, and we do that twice a year. So we do one over in Lewisburg and one in Tullahoma. We have one coming up in Lewisburg. It's going to be October 30th and 31st. There is no cost to come. So if there's anybody that you know that would benefit from that 10-hour course, they do get certified. They get a certification from it. They're welcome to come. More information will be coming out for that. I probably will send it through the chamber so everybody will know. And then something else that's just brand new, it's going to be an inaugural event, is we're doing a Supervisor Skills 101. How many of you all have promoted somebody to a supervisory position? I see you saying, and they may or may not have that skill set to be a manager. Maybe they don't know how to do conflict resolution. This is a class that will help take your best people that you've promoted, but give them the people skills that they need. So it's about communication skills, verbal, nonverbal, written. It's the conflict resolution, communication styles, things of that nature. So sorry, I got a big tickle in my throat. Always when you talk, right? So that is going to be actually at Motlow Community College. MTSU is hosting that with us. We're co-hosting that, and it's going to be on August the 30th. It's going to be an all-day workshop. So there is a cost to that one. It's going to be $29, and more information will be coming out about that as well. So you all, everybody give these ladies a hand in this office, because if you all know anything about the unemployment rate, with it being 2.6%, that's the latest statistic, 2.6% in Coffee County for April. That's like having 100 people in a room, and if you're trying to select from the unemployment pool, they're having to pick 2.5 people from that pool. And that's a difficult task. And these ladies do a wonderful job of assessing the skill and talent we have in this area, and they put people to work every single day. So they deserve a round of applause for that for sure. We now have a mobile app. So any of our associates, when they come in, we ask them to download this app on their phone, and we can push out job offers to them if they don't walk out with an assignment that day. They can access their pay stubs on the device, and it gives them all the information about the job. So they can no longer say, well, I forgot how to get there. And what am I supposed to wear? And what time was my shift? Because it's all right there in front of them. So that's something that we're utilizing, and we're utilizing it also for like check-in points for surveys. How was your first day? How was your first week? I know that we do have over like 240 assessments that we can use to pinpoint skill sets. So if you need similar, it would definitely pinpoint the skill sets you need for that, for dexterity or I guess rhythm, or for math. We have a measurement test. We have one for welding. Of course, it's not hands-on welding, but it is, we get a little bit of information from the candidate. Do you actually have 10 years in your father's garage, or do you have 10 years of, TIG welding underneath your belt?
As technology evolves, so does the way companies advertise and market their business. In recent years, digital marketing has seen a tremendous upsurge by companies that want to stay on the cutting edge. Here is Bowman Media Digital Marketing Manager Michael Reed to tell us more.
The internet's based around just data aggregation, so there's a lot of information all around the web, and when you type in something into a search engine, it brings that information from a database. So there's 4 major data providers that use your business's information, your phone number, your address, and your hours of operation, as long as your name, because even some people's names aren't exactly what they market it as. If you use the word first, but you use the number 1, those are going to be little inconsistencies that you have. And if you have a good, solid presence online, you're going to be able to be found quicker in your search engines. So for example, Google's 93% of people use Google as their primary search engine. So if your information is not accurate on Google, 93% of the people who would search for you are going to find an inaccurate listing. And numbers have shown that if your information is not accurate, then businesses are not trusted as much, and therefore they don't get visited as much. That's even true for people who've been to a business. Go home, research that business. If they find an inaccurate listing, they're less likely to revisit that business. So even if you've done well to close a deal, you still could lose customers based off your online digital presence. So what we offer is we solidify your online marketing solutions. So starting with your listings, making sure that your business name is accurate, and even with the apostrophes being there, the addresses being accurate all across the web, your phone number, your hours of operation, which are very particularly good for restaurants on holidays, because a lot of people are out with their families trying to get to the restaurant. So if your holidays hours are accurate, that's really good for business. But starting with your listings, making sure that those are good, then we can build it all the way up through social media, email marketing campaigns, all the way to search engine optimizations and marketing as well. So it's really the gambit of all that you can do digitally. But as I'm getting started with the company, I'm really focusing on listings, because with the national presence that we're getting here in the community, it's very prevalent for local businesses to have accurate listings online, because so many people are using the internet to find out about a business before they visit. When I go in and talk with people, would you do business without having an accurate Yellow Page listing? Absolutely not. So this is the transition to the newer marketing area. And with that, really, you do have more power to get more return on your investment through digital than you do through traditional marketing, with the ability to see more people in a limited amount of time. Also, you can do more tracking with the click-through rates, things like that. So you could really start to analyze and really know what your marketing budget is getting. For me, and just in terms of making sure I get the right information, my email would be best. It's michael@bowman.media. Just send me your name and your business. I'll kind of run a report and get started the conversation there. I really do like doing a consultative way, just to find out what you're currently doing and what your information is, and then I'll go back and take the time to really do the research, because I understand business owners' time is very valuable.
Coming up next, with less than a week to go, we'll hear what's new at this year's fireworks celebration.
And we'll hear what it takes to go from a photograph to a beautiful piece of textile art.
Miller Lite and Michelob Ultra invite you to celebrate America's independence at Tullahoma's Fraser McEwen Park, Wednesday, July 3rd. Gates open at 3 p.m. and world-class fireworks start at 9. This is a free event that has something for everyone. Live music from 6-wire and vinyl radio, a kids zone, petting zoo, food, fun, games, and more. The City of Tullahoma, Miller Lite, and Michelob Ultra invite everyone to Fraser McEwen Park, July 3rd for the Tullahoma Independence Day Regional Celebration. And don't miss the downtown after party at London's.
You wanna dance? check out Stingray Music on TV. Now available, the new Stingray Music mobile app, free with your TV subscription. Stingray Music, all good vibes.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
Welcome back to Tullahoma 6 News in HD. We caught up with Tullahoma City Community Events Director Winston Brooks to find out the do's and don'ts for this year's Regional Independence Day celebration at Grider Stadium. Here's Winston to tell us everything we need to know about the celebration and the after party at London's.
Well, we are so excited. July 3rd, it was just right around the corner, and the City of Tullahoma is so pleased to host the Tullahoma Independence Day Regional Celebration. It's going to be out at Fraser McEwen Park and in Grider Stadium. We invite everyone in the area to come out. It's a free community event, and when I say community, I do mean community because it takes a lot of people to put this on. I want to shout out to our Patriot sponsors, Michelob Ultra and Miller Lite, and then we also have some other sponsors we want to mention: Light Tube, Coca-Cola, Jack Daniels, Citizens Tri-County Bank, Whiskey Radio, NAS, Jacobs, and London's. And we'll talk a little bit more about London's too. And of course, Parks and Recreation, they make it all happen. So first, let's talk about the fireworks. These fireworks are put on by a National Pyrotechnics Show. It's going to be world-class fireworks all the way. It's one of the largest shows in southern Middle Tennessee, and this company puts on fireworks shows all over the world in all the big cities, Paris, New York, Nashville. So they won't disappoint. They're going to go off around 9:15, just as it's starting to get dark enough to really enjoy those. And we want to tell everybody to come down to Grider Stadium, get a seat, bring your blanket or your chair. Don't bring tents, don't bring coolers. The best viewing is going to be from inside the stadium because of the close-up fireworks. Those are something that you miss if you try to watch from the surrounding area. So come on down. And if you come on down, this is what you're going to get to experience. First, let's talk about the music a little bit. Starting at around 5 o'clock, it's going to be Vinyl Radio. These are very professional musicians out of Nashville, play classic rock. While that's going on, there's also going to be a cornhole tournament sponsored by the Tullahoma Sports Council. There'll also be some casual can jam playing. Then after Vinyl Radio, we're going to have the NFL Draft House Band come on, Six Wire. Again, these are just exceptional musicians that you don't want to miss. If you've never heard them, they don't disappoint. Then the fireworks will happen, and then Six Wire comes back out and plays until 11. And after that, then there's the London's after party. Hop on the shuttle. You can park and ride downtown, and the shuttle will take you back and forth between downtown. You can ride it as many times as you want during the event. But it's a great way to close down the evening after Six Wires to get on that shuttle and ride back downtown and continue to celebrate at London's. There's also a separate shuttle that will be running from Cherokee Square behind Burger King back and forth. So please look for those shuttle stops so you don't have to fight the parking and walk in. It will drop you off right there.
On July 13th, Tullahoma Art Center will present the Art of the Quilt, featuring more than 20 pieces created by textile artist Pat Raleigh. We caught up with Pat at the center to find out what goes into creating one of these beautiful works of art. Here's Pat with more.
I was visiting my daughter in British Columbia, and we made a day trip to the Butchart Gardens, which is just amazing acreages of flowers. And it was interesting because I spent the day taking lots of photographs, of course thinking about coming back and making an art quilt. And then it was interesting, as we were walking to our car in the parking lot, I looked down, and in an island where you would park your cars was this beautiful array of begonias. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I took that photograph, and then when I came home, I noticed as beautiful as they were, because when I look at things for my art quilts, I look for flowers or objects that have texture and depth to them. And the begonias were perfect with the petals, but they were very pale. So when I made this quilt, I thought, you know what, I'm going to be brave, and I really punched up the color. What's called Procyon active reactive dyes, and actually painted this. What was interesting is when you're painting with dyes and they're wet, you don't actually see what the finished color is going to be. So when this piece was finished, I was actually very disappointed, because the colors really in some areas weren't as vibrant as I had hoped. So after just hanging it on the wall and walking by it and being disappointed, I thought, now wait a minute. What if, instead of me trying to re-dye, what if I took some already commercial fabric that's what I'm going for, very deep and very bright, I added those in the places where I was disappointed. So this is my first art quilt where I combined commercial fabric along with my painting. And then, of course, when that was done, I then used free motion thread design to complete it. So what I'm hoping and what is there is that the viewer isn't really sure which is the commercial fabric and which is painted. And just in the dyeing process on this particular piece, I easily had, probably 40 hours of work. So sometimes you need distance, and I found just sort of hanging it up on the wall, not dwelling on it, but just having it where I could sort of walk by and glimpse. Sometimes that really helps me decide where I need to make changes.
Every Monday until October, be sure to buy fresh and buy local at the Farmers Market Tullahoma. Vendors will be set up from 4 to 7 p.m. on the grounds of the South Jackson Civic Center, and if you're interested in becoming a vendor, you can contact Lynn at 247-5493.
On July 3rd, don't miss the Tullahoma Independence Day Regional Celebration at Grider Stadium. Gates open at 3 p.m. and there will be plenty of food, beverages, and vendors to visit before the fireworks begin. And be sure to stay after the fireworks celebration to hear bands, vinyl records, and 6-wire. Follow the bands there, and there will also be an after party at London's. Also, be sure to take advantage of the shuttle from Northgate Mall. The shuttle will be continuously running during the event to ferry people to and from the parking lot there.
Yeah, that 6-wire is the Super Bowl band, I understand. And have you been to the farmers market yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. And if you missed the Tullahoma Farmers Market on Monday, you'll have a second chance for some fresh veggies, meats, and baked goods at the food fair every Wednesday until October in the parking lot of the Trinity Lutheran Church at 705 Wilson Avenue from 6 to 11 a.m. Offerings change from week to week, so be sure not to miss out. For more details, you can contact the church at 455-9475.
The new light tube yard signs are in, and Whitney. $100 just got easier. Simply call the news hotline at 571-7186 and give us your name and address, and a sign will be delivered to you. Each week, our roving sign hunter goes out looking for new addresses, proudly displaying the light tube yard sign. If yours is spotted, you could be our next yard sign winner of the month. And we had someone call right before the news and request one.
Right before there. So yeah, get those free signs out there. And while you're getting the free signs, get your tickets now for the River Music Fest at Normandy Lake. But actually, it's not at Normandy Lake. It's on Courtner Mill Road with Live and Let Die, the music of Paul McCartney featuring Tony Kishman, Chase Clanton and the Vintage Vibes, and many others will also be performing that evening. Tickets are $35 and benefit the Arrowhead Ranch for boys. The event is August 3rd, and they are expecting a sellout, so you can order your tickets by going to www.arrowheadranch.net or by calling 931-857-4000.
And Chase Clatton also puts on a show. That young man can play the guitar extremely
Absolutely.
well.
It'll be worth the price, and it's pretty cheap, $35.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up next on Tullahoma 6 News and HD, we'll have our Friday trivia as well as your weekend weather forecast for you.
And not only trivia and the weather, but we'll also have a look at local sports, so stay with us.
Miller Lite and Michelob Ultra invite you to celebrate America's independence at Tullahoma's Fraser McEwen Park, Wednesday, July 3rd. Gates open at 3 p.m. and world-class fireworks start at 9. This is a free event that has something for everyone. Live music from 6-wire and vinyl radio, a kids zone, petting zoo, food, fun, games, and more. The City of Tullahoma, Miller Lite, and Michelob Ultra invite everyone to Fraser McEwen Park, July 3rd for the Tullahoma Independence Day Regional Celebration. And don't miss the downtown after party at London's.
This is your internet service at 10 meg speeds. This is internet service at gigabit. No other local provider can match this level of speed. Call us today to get the world's fastest internet.
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
Does your family love to stream movies and use multiple Wi-Fi enabled devices? But are you finding out that your run-of-the-mill router simply can't keep up? Don't worry, LightTube has you covered with our internet router service for only $9.95 per month. Get back to what your family loves doing. Call us today at 455-4515 to learn more.
Welcome back. Today's National Day is National Insurance Awareness Day. It is observed each year on June 28th, and this day was created as a day to review your insurance coverage. Over time, the value of our homes and the items we insure may appreciate. What was once worth $100,000 a decade ago may be worth much more today. Be sure to keep your policies up with the values, and you can observe by hashtagging National Insurance Awareness Day on social media, and of course, checking out those policies and making sure you know where they are. So, Chris, what's our trivia question for today?
Well, today is what is the oldest insurance agency in Tullahoma? Is it Farm Bureau Insurance, Rogers Insurance, Tennessee Insurance Agency, Lester, Green, McCord, and Toma Insurance Agencies?
Interesting. That goes very well with today's National Day. And beautiful day outside. You got a little insurance today that there may not be any rain. High of 93 and low of 70. Let's take a look at the rest of the week, Randy.
But there is definitely humidity today.
Well, my hair says yes on that one. Saturday, you got some no rain in sight, so it's going to be a true 93. But then on Sunday, a 20% chance, so it may be a little cooler by Monday. It's calling for 92 and 93 and 90s pretty much the rest of the week with a just overall 20% chance of rain. So pretty much what you've seen one day, you've seen them all on this weekend. That's your weekend weather. Let's go back to that trivia answer now. Chris?
Well, what is the oldest insurance agency in Tullahoma? Is it Farm Bureau Insurance, Rogers Insurance, Tennessee Insurance Agency, or Lester, Green, McCord, and Toma Insurance? And the answer is Lester, Green, McCord, and Toma.
Almost too big to fit on the screen there.
And that was formed in 1910.
Exactly.
And that was by what was it? Green, Lester and Green?
We think that our producer...
No, Lester came in later. So
our producer speculates that Toma is the reason why they're 1910. We'll have to ask him about that. So, Chris, what's going on in local sports?
Well, in local sports, it's back this year and bigger than ever. The Tullahoma Sports Council second annual cornhole tournament will feature a professional and amateur category this year, but spaces are limited, so you need to get your teams together and sign up soon. Here are Joy Till and Stacy Lynch of the Tullahoma Sports Council to tell us more.
This tournament will be from 6 to 8:30. You can register online at our website, www.tullahomasports.org. The tournament will be at Fraser McEwen Park. And like she said, we're looking for sponsorships for our cornhole boards. You get your company logo on the board. We're going to use them every year. This is our second annual cornhole tournament, and we're going to use them every year. We're going to start having more cornhole tournaments during the year, and you actually get to keep your cornhole board until we need it, so you can use it with your company, with your family or friends. And Stacy Lynch is over here as well. She has a flyer. We can talk to either one of us about signing up, about sponsorships, and about the cornhole tournament. Come and see us, and let me know if you have any questions.
When he said there's a professional division, there is like a professional cornhole circuit that people were coming out, and so people were like, can you please have a more of a just a for fun group also for those of us who might not be quite so professional. So that's why we did the 2 different groups this year. So go online and register, www.tullahomasports.org. Register now, so you can get your spot, and you don't have to fight somebody.
And you'll get a free t-shirt.
Over it. And you get this really cool t-shirt that was designed this year, the Ace in the Hole, cornhole. I mean, I'm the boss of the toss. I tried to get that to be it, but nobody agreed with me.
This week's catch of the week goes to Gary Greaves. Gary's holding a couple of nice crappie that he caught at Normandy Dam. The 2 trophies Gary's holding were some of the first and largest that they caught that day, and thanks for sharing with us, Gary. You can share your pics as well. Just send them to us at news@lighttube.net and include your name and some details like size and where you caught your trophy, and you could be our next catch of the week viewer. That's our quick look at local sports, and we'll be back with a few final thoughts right after this.
This is your internet service at 10 meg speeds. This is internet service at gigabit. No other local provider can match this level of speed. Call us today to get the world's fastest internet.
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
You wanna dance?
Check out Stingray Music on TV. Now available, the new Stingray Music mobile app, free with your TV subscription. Stingray Music, all good vibes.
Before we leave you today, we would like to thank our news team members, 93.9 The Duck, and your local newspaper, the Tullahoma News, for their help and support.
And remember, if you'd like to be a part of our team, you can call our news hotline at 571-7186. Be sure to let us know about any upcoming events or story ideas, and we'll do our best to get the word out right here on 6 News in HD. You can also like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Just search for TUA LightTube, where we update you on the latest news and events, and you can be our next Facebook friend of the day.
That's going to wrap it up for this Friday edition of Tullahoma 6 News in HD. As always, thank you for watching, and we hope you'll join us again on Monday.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.